morning, class. Today we're going to be going over lesson 6 in unit 10. This lesson has you use a protractor, and I'm assuming, including myself, that we do not have access to a protractor. So I want you to skip number 5 in the independent practice, and I can't do number 1 and 2 because I don't have a protractor for the guided practice. So what I'm going to do is do number 3 and 4, and then I'm going to do problem 17. You're going to still be required to do number 14 through 16 and number 20. But all of the stuff that I'm doing in the guided practice will clearly help you do those 4 problems. So anyways, I wanted to start. So this is from page 909. It's very, very important. Basically, we're dealing with what's known as rotations, where we take a shape like a quadrilateral, a triangle, whatever, and we rotate it around a point. So if we do a 90-degree rotation, our coordinate x and y is going to be changed into negative yx. So if we had a point that was like 1 and 2, it would be changed into negative 2 and 1. You're just switching, instead of just x, y, or whatever the coordinate is, into this pattern, which is negative y comma x. For 180, it's going to go from x, y as the coordinate to negative x, negative y. And 270-degree rotation is going to go from x, y to y, negative x. So I'm going to show you what this means right now on problem 3. So problem 3 is from page 911. It says triangle DFG. So we have triangle DFG, has vertices D at negative 2, 6. F is at 2, 8. And G is at 2, 3. It says graph DFG and its image after a rotation of 180 degrees about the origin. So we want a 180-degree rotation. And what that means is, essentially, we're going to follow this pattern. So our x and y coordinate, or our coordinate, is going to change into negative x, negative y. So what we're going to do now is we are going to just put point D, and that's at negative 2, 6, or vertice D, and we're just going to follow this pattern. Well, if it's negative 2, 6, we got to change it into negative x, negative y for a 180-degree rotation. So that negative 2 is going to become positive because we're changing the sign. And since 6 is positive, we make it negative 6 because it's a negative y. So this is our new D prime. And we're going to do that for f as well. So it's at 2, 8. And so our f prime is going to be, we make x negative, so since 2 is positive, we're going to make it negative 2. Since 8 is positive, we're going to make it negative 8. And so we have a new coordinate at negative 2, negative 8. And finally, G is at 2 and 3. And what we're going to do is have G prime. Since 2 is positive and it's supposed to be negative x, we're going to have negative 2. And since 3 is positive and it's supposed to be negative y, we are going to have negative 3. So here are our new coordinates. And what I'm going to do now is graph it. I'm going to graph the original, and I'm going to graph the new triangle D prime, F prime, G prime after we make a 180-degree rotation around the origin. So the origin right here is at 0, 0. So that's where we're making the rotation, around that point 0, 0. So I'm graphing the original. D is at negative 2, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's right here. D's right there. Point F, or vertex F, is at 2, 8. So it's right here. And G is at 2, 3. So it's right here. So we have this triangle. And now we just made a 180-degree rotation around this point right there. And what's going to happen is we are going to now graph d prime, which is at 2, -6, right here. So here's d prime. We're going to have -2, -8, which is right here. And that's going to be, again, our f prime. And g is going to be at -2, -3. So it's right here. And here is our new triangle when we rotated it around the origin 180 degrees and went in this direction and created that triangle. So that is problem 3 of the guided practice. I am going to give you a second to write that down, and then I'm going to do problem 4 next. And then I have class in like 5 minutes, so I'm going to have to stop and then come back and do problem 17 of the guided practice. And I might do like problem 18 as well to give you another example. Yeah, I'll do that. Since there's 4 guided practice problems, I'm going to do 17 and 18. So as a reminder, for the independent practice, please skip number 5. You do not have a protractor at home. If you do, then you can do it, but I'm not expecting you to be able to figure it out by hand. So let's do number 4. So number 4 is a similar problem to number 3. We have, it's a multiple choice. It says, for the transformation shown, what is the measure of the angle of rotation of ABCD about the origin? So we have basically a quadrilateral, and I'm just going to label the points. So we have A is at 0, 1. B, vertice B is at 2, 8. C is at okay, so A, it's actually increments of 2 on this graph. So A would be at 0, 2. And then B is at 4, 8. I don't know why they do this. They have a weird scale to where every mark on the axis is a scale of 2. And then we have C is at 8, 6. And D is at 4, 0. And then A prime is at negative 2, sorry, not, I was looking at the D prime. A prime is at 0, -2. And B prime is at -4, -8. C prime is at -8, -6. And D prime is at -4, 0. Okay, so when we look at this, I don't want to graph it because the graph is already there. Like a perfect graph is on your paper on page 911. So, sorry, I was looking at the time. I have 3 more minutes before class. So essentially, let's just look at the pattern. So A went from 0, 2 to 0, -2. B went from 4, 8 to -4, 8. C went from 8, 6 to -8, 6. So it looks like we're taking X and Y and changing it into negative x, negative y. So what kind of rotation would that be if we go from xy to negative xy? And it looks like it would be 180 degrees. So I believe that is choice B in your textbook, but it's a 180-degree rotation around the origin. So I'm going to stop the video, and in like a half hour or so, I'm going to do problem 17 and 18. I'm going to give you a second to write this down, and then I will see you in class. Have a great day.